Northface Construction, great service from the ground up. Roofing, storm damage and siding. Call the pros at Northface. A hands-on approach, advice and consulting. Our attention to detail makes the difference. Visit online at northfaceconstruction.com. Northface Construction, great service from the ground up.
What's up, guys?
That's good timing, right?
Yeah. Welcome to another episode of the Northface Construction Relegation Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Jack Yeager, alongside Luke Yeager and Andrew Peterson.
Hello,
Howdy.
brothers.
Oh, sorry.
We're doing that
I
again.
know, I forgot.
Changed it up.
You threw me off when you started the show.
Just an
I
agent
thought
of
Jack
chaos,
and I were doing
all right?
Hello Brothers.
Yeah, I thought we were doing that.
Yeah.
All right, on today's show, we have league news, new segment called Trade Bait, and matchup recap. So we'll get into that right away. Getting into league news, we got Week 10 injuries.
Oh, yes.
When you did your sound check, you definitely did not shout that loud.
I did not. No, that's going to have to be edited quite a bit.
We'll be all right. Derek Carr went out with a shoulder/concussion issue. He is on a bye next week, so it won't affect. Well, it will affect them actually.
He'll need to figure out his quarterback position.
Yeah,
this week.
I think he actually has to figure out something.
He had to anyways.
Yeah,
he had
Carr is
nobody
not.
on his bench.
But
I was
now
going to say
long-term,
Carr was
maybe.
not like
Oh yeah,
Carr was not doing that great.
No.
if he wants to go farther, he should.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll take a look.
I was
at
going to
it.
say,
we'll
wow,
talk about it.
Trade
would there
bait.
be like a trade idea maybe? I mean, I'm just throwing it out there.
Fish on?
Fish on.
You got to be quicker than that.
Nice catch.
Loved that game growing up.
Me too.
I never
Oh my
really
gosh.
played it.
Really? The
You,
mini ones?
you clearly didn't hang out at Eli Sunderland's.
No, I did. I just watched him play other video games. Yeah.
You just weren't good enough. He let me play.
Wow.
Which games were you allowed to watch?
I feel like there was a Star Wars one maybe.
Battlefront?
No,
Oh, yeah.
this was pre-Battlefront time, I think.
Battlefront is an OG game though. It was
Really?
like on the PS2, yeah.
No, this was PlayStation.
Yeah.
Battlefront
forget how
1
old we
Battlefront 1 was on PlayStation.
You forget,
Battlefront
Sonny.
2 was on PlayStation 2.
It probably was Battlefront.
It probably was. I can't think of
Wow.
another PlayStation game that was Star Wars.
I remember playing Frogger.
Oh.
That was a good game.
That had nothing to do with Star Wars.
No, I know, but I'm just you asked what kind of games.
The way he moved, it's like he was using the Force.
Hop Pop.
When I was younger, I used to play with Pokemon. So
Cool.
We have
cool,
Wait
cool,
Jack, Wait Jack.
cool. Yeah,
So,
true.
Number punchers also lost somebody.
Yep, Taylor
Do
Heineke.
you think he's going to be able to manage without Taylor Heineke?
It's over. Number punchers.
Getting benched for Desmond Ritter, that's low.
That is low.
Or
Well,
was
didn't-
he injured?
He was injured. He hurt his hamstring.
Oh yeah, he did.
But also he wasn't playing. I think he was averaging 3.7 yards per attempt
That's not great.
against the Cardinals.
It's not great.
That's pretty bad. Yeah, Taylor Heineke did not. I mean, he played the last 2 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he looked
1.5. He came in for Ritter second half of last
He
week.
looked okay against the Vikings.
Oh no, wait. He played the full game against the Vikings.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, you're right. It was
Ritter
2
got
weeks
sad.
ago he came.
Did Heineke do anything against us? I think
Yeah.
for fantasy wise, I don't think he did that
No, he
much.
did okay.
Did he score more than like 11 points?
Yeah. I would guess he'd put over 20.
Should we check?
I'm checking it right now. His game log.
Check the records, all right?
He put up 17.7.
It's almost,
yeah.
It's almost 20.
That's pretty good, actually. It's more than I thought. I thought he would have put up I thought it was like 11 and a half.
I think the last drive was pretty huge.
Oh,
He
yeah.
had that big rush.
Yep.
And then who do you throw did he throw a touchdown to someone?
Jono Smith.
Jenna.
He did.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah, Taylor Heineke, Sun City Sleepers lost Alexander Madison to a concussion, which is a bummer. I just traded for him. I don't think he'll play next week.
Who do we play next week? Oh, it's the Cardinals.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
gonna be
it sounds
that's
like
gonna be
you
a
could
tough
use.
bounce back.
Sounds like you could use a running back.
I
Jack.
could use a running back. I need to be in conversation with tanking teams.
Who plays the Cardinals? We do?
Yeah.
The Vikes?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Josh Jobs' revenge game?
Oh,
I know.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Oh man, that'll be interesting. But yeah, Alexander Madison went out with a concussion. I think he only put up like 3.8 points for me. He wasn't even playing that well beforehand, but that really cut it short. Unicorn Fart lost Deshaun Watson to an ankle injury.
Is he out?
No, I think
Okay.
he'll be fine. But he was wearing a boot after the game.
Just questionable then?
He said he'll be fine, but players always say they'll be fine.
True.
Although Deshaun, to be fair, has been very honest. His shoulder, even when the medical professionals said, no, you're fine, he's like, no, guys. I'm not fine.
That's honorable.
Yeah.
One of the most honorable things he's probably ever done.
No, he's an upstanding citizen, right?
He does give back to his community.
He does.
And for Avalanche, Michael Thomas out with a knee injury.
Yeah.
Is that serious?
What he left in the Vikes game, didn't come back. He left in like the second quarter.
But I don't
true.
think Thomas was doing much for the Avalanche.
I think he was he was about an 8-point a week guy.
With
he's
what
probably
Avalanche
starting this
wants
week.
to do, like I think he probably needs to upgrade it from Thomas.
That's probably not a bad idea.
Yeah. I'm guessing he started him this week, right?
No, he had him on his bench.
Holy cow.
Good job, Kafka. All right.
Well,
Making the right
he started
decision.
Deonta Foreman, Aaron Jones, Kenneth Walker, Alvin Kamara, George Pickens, and Thielen over him.
just want to point this out. You said Kopka. Connor
Avalanche.
is the unicorn farts.
Who
We're talking about Kafka.
we're talking about Michael Thomas on the Avalanche.
To be clear,
Wait,
Jack.
did you say
Deshaun
unicorn fart?
Watson is on the unicorn fart.
Mhm.
Oh, I thought you said. Oh, okay. All right. Yep.
So to be clear,
Tracking.
Jack, we were talking
So
about
just to
who
be
were we
clear.
talking about? Yeah.
We'll cut this out. Cut this out.
Nice job, host.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hate this podcast.
Should we just start over, just from the top?
Hello, brother. No, yeah, Michael Thomas out. I was thinking for whatever reason that he was on the unicorn fart, but yeah, he did he pull out a win this week? And Avalanche?
No.
He got wrecked.
He's had a couple of bad weeks in a row. Yeah, it'll be interesting. He was looking like a top 4 lock, and I think he's gone. Oh, I'll have to check. He's going 0-2 this week, and I'm pretty sure he did.
No, he won this week.
Did he win?
He beat the Corn Dogs. 84. Corn Dogs are projected to put
Oh,
up
wow.
74.
Okay.
Oh, whoa.
So
Okay.
he'll
Yeah.
be 12.
Unicorn
12
fart.
Yeah.
Got smoked.
They did
which is
get
what I
smoked.
think I got confused on because we were talking about it before we started the
60
podcast, and I thought Andover Avalanche got smoked, but it was unicorn fart.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now I'm tracking.
But yeah, Connor, that is a rough week.
Yeah, that's a bad week.
We'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it more. Yeah, that was our last injury. One thing that we do have to touch base on, though, trade deadline is approaching. So if teams are looking to trade, buy, hold out, don't have to worry about it if you're holding out. But
Trade, buy, do nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, just sit tight.
just
all right?
keep it in mind. Yeah, November 25th, 2023.
It's not
Okay, so-
2024.
Yeah.
We have a very long trade deadline. It's a 2-year trade deadline in this league, right?
Those trades in.
That is our deadline in 2024.
Yeah.
No, the weird thing about Yahoo, though, so I've never played Yahoo before. I feel like on ESPN or Sleeper, they had like by 4 p.m. this date. This just says all trades must be made by November 25th, 2023.
So my
So
guess is midnight.
11:59 p.m.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
probably
thinking.
midnight.
Probably. Do you think it's not Western time? What do you call that?
Pacific time?
Pacific time. There we
Pacific
go.
Standard.
probably,
It's probably our time zone. It's probably Central, actually.
I would guess it's either Eastern or Pacific.
Oh yeah, because
They don't know
'cause-
where we are.
Yeah, and our league isn't even all in Central Standard Time.
No. So that's why I would think Pacific.
Yeah. Trade block will reopen when the championship game has been completed.
Yes, because we're a
Interesting.
dynasty.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're more of a salary cap league, to be fair.
Salary cap keeper.
Salary, yeah. It'll, more of a keeper, I suppose. Whatever. We don't know what we
It's a
are.
keeper on steroids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we'll have our rosters all the way through making decisions. Trades can be made in the offseason. So it reopens as soon as the championship game
Wow.
ends.
That's super interesting. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of fun. It'll be interesting to see if anybody actually makes moves the day after the championship.
People will
don't-
just be itching.
Yeah.
People who haven't been able
Wait
to.
until the doldrums of like February hit, then I'll be itching to make a deal.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
When I don't feel anything, I'm gonna need to-
That's when you'll finally get rid of Adams.
Yeah. All right. I'm willing to trade him.
I've accepted it.
I'll take a second and 2 firsts.
If Olave can get 2 first. Yeah. All
Oh.
right. Moving into more trade talk, we got Trade Bait, our new segment. With the trade deadline approaching, we are going to examine some possible trade scenarios and decide which side of the trade we would rather be on. So starting out, we got the Slumlord and the Yorkies with a potential trade. Slumlord would receive Tank Dell, and the Yorkies receive a 2024 first-round pick.
So Slumlord needs a flex spot. They need to. He
They
might
don't
not
need to.
think
Brandon
that.
Cooks just had a good game.
He did go
I don't
off.
know if that's sustainable.
I guess it kind of would come down to how Slumlord views their team.
I think if I'm Slumlord, I probably because he is going to. He lost this week, but he beat the medium, so he'll be 10-10.
there's a log jam for that 8th spot.
Yeah, there is.
And if I'm him and looking at his team and the pace he's been on recently, I think I'd try and swing bigger. But I don't know if Eli's going to do that.
The question is can you swing bigger with 1 first-round pick?
No. That's what I'm saying. Like I would
offer
maybe,
more,
yeah,
go bigger.
But if I'm,
That's just not the way Eli works.
Mm-hmm.
Eli is very cautious, limit risk. He might be willing to be like, well, this first rounder isn't probably going to mean that much if whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he'd be willing to give that, but he's in putting myself in Eli's brain, you hear all the numbers punching, the calculations.
the original, the OG number
The
puncher.
OG
Yes.
number puncher. I think he would be thinking, well, I don't know where I'm going to be 26, 27. Why would I risk what could be a first overall pick for someone like Tank Dell?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Eli, I don't do this deal. But I look to trade my
Said
first
that
round.
wrong.
Yes.
Think for someone like Devonta Adams.
Yeah.
Which I'd probably think about, to be honest.
Yeah. A first round pick. Yeah. I think that's.
I mean, Adams, his value is plummeted. I don't really want to trade him because his value is so low right now, but you like offered a first. I'd think about it.
So offer a little less than a first.
Hey, you'd probably have to offer a little more for me to seriously consider it.
I don't think Tank Dell makes big enough waves for Eli. I think I agree with you guys.
You know who would, though?
But-
Noah Brown.
Here's what you got to think. Noah Brown, that's true.
Potentially.
But here's what you got to think about with Tank Dell is that you're not just trading for this season. Tank Dell was drafted for $1 or $2. So
Are you really going to keep him for $6 next year, though?
for sure.
Yeah, Tank Dell's worth $6 next year.
Probably, but like that doesn't. I'd rather have the first
you
round pick.
Do you think you'll draft at 8, 9, 10 a better player than Tank Dell?
No, but if I'm giving up a first round pick and I'm paying 0, I'd rather have that.
I think Tank Dell's a good guy to talk about, though, because I do think you could get a better player than Tank. Like, he's very boomer bust.
Yeah, he has been. He has been very boomer bust.
Reverting back to Noah Brown, Bourbon Barrel's got Noah Brown this week.
Didn't play him.
Didn't play him. 20 points on his bench.
I know.
Would have been
In Joe's defense, I don't think I would have played Noah Brown this week either against the
Wait.
Bengals.
You wouldn't have? Oh,
I would have.
I would have played him.
Really?
After that
With
week
Nico
Houston?
Collins out?
Yeah.
Oh, was Collins out? Okay.
And Houston just looked like
CJ Stroud.
unstoppable after that week 9, game. I probably would have been like, you know what? I probably, if he was on my team, I probably would have started him over Jonnu Smith this week. And I love
yeah.
Jonnu.
You love
yeah.
Jenna.
I love Jenna.
He's your girl.
It's my girl.
We can get into who he should have started when we get into our
Yeah.
review. But so, end of the day, what side would you rather be on? I would rather be on the Tank Dell side. I'd rather have Tank Dell than a late first.
I'd rather have the first.
Think first round pick from the Slumlord Co. I'd
Yes.
probably take Tank Dell
Interesting.
for the keeper value.
I think he also gives him a better shot than Brandon Cooks.
For
Oh,
sure.
I agree with
for
you there.
sure.
So you build there, you get a keeper. So I feel like you're getting best of both worlds without really risking too much.
Yeah, especially because Eli is probably going to finish in the top 10,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at worst, I don't see, or I guess, I don't know how you would phrase it. The lowest I could see his pick being would be 7th overall, maybe.
Yeah.
Let's say he does this and misses the playoffs. He's not falling below, I think Jack's right, 10.
Yeah.
But with that said, if you had the 10th pick in this year's, or no, what would it be?
The 7th pick.
7th pick. I mean, you're talking about like Zay Flowers, probably, Quentin Johnston's been terrible, but like,
Right.
he would've gone
But
early.
it is the risk. Tank Dell's at least a known commodity
yeah.
with a good young quarterback and an
Yeah.
offense that seems to be way
On-
more
on the
pass
up.
heavy than we ever would have thought.
For sure. I think Tank Dell has more value than the first, but I think that's a good one to talk about because I think it's pretty even.
Yeah, because I wouldn't do that trade.
You would not trade Tank Dell for just a first?
No,
Wow.
not Eli's first.
But if like I offered a first, you'd do it?
Possibly. I think
Especially with the lingering possibility that you're tanking.
Yeah, which is why I would never do that.
Right,
But
exactly. But that just adds value to the
I
first
just,
round.
I think
Well,
you're overvaluing Dell. Like he's had 2 good weeks back to back.
he had a couple boom weeks. He had a really good week.
Yeah, I mean early on.
He has been boomer
What
bust.
is he? He's like
Oh, he's
5
for
he's
sure
like
boomer
5'6". Like I'm just saying
Yeah.
that prototype or that archetype of player does not typically succeed.
I think for $6 though, it fills a very valuable spot in your lineup next year. To have a starter for $6, I think
good.
that's great. Anything in the single digits, that's awesome. And he's young. So who knows if you at least know he can produce. Now you see if he can turn into a Welker, if he can turn into one of those slot guys who can get you stuff more consistently.
Yeah, true.
And I think for that price, I don't know. I already have.
Are you on the fence of saying no, or are you not even close with that?
I would want a little bit extra because I think Tank Dell is a more certainty than 24 first, and I want to get out of relegation next year. I don't want to risk a bust in the first round.
Yeah, I get that.
Would you take a first round pick and the $5 or the $4 that you'd pay extra for Tank? So it'd be
That would get me closer.
yeah.
That would get me closer to be able to buy somebody else.
I don't think
have a flyer.
I don't know if there's anybody who would do that deal though, just because he's too inconsistent.
I think you'd be surprised. We look at a lot of
That's
these.
true. That's a good point.
Pretty much every trade I've thought is an overpay, so maybe I just need to
Yeah.
like
Devontae for a
raise my
second.
standards,
Lower them.
lower
Yeah.
my standards.
Date uglier women.
I don't date jokes on you.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Sleepers and token. The hypothetical is that the sleepers would receive Keaton Mitchell, running back from Baltimore, and then African token would receive Baker Mayfield. They are in dire need of a quarterback.
They have
And
no
Jack-
quarterback active on their team.
What is your hesitance to doing this deal?
I like Keaton Mitchell. I actually do think that there's a lot of potential there. I would love to have Keaton Mitchell on my team because I do think that he is going to produce for the rest of the season. The thing that I'm scared of though is that Jalen, like we've had the rule change now. After the trade deadline, you really do need a backup quarterback. So like let's say Jalen Hurts goes out.
Well, you wouldn't get fined if Jalen Hurts goes out and you can't fill the spot because you didn't have the capability. Like that would be one you'd appeal, and that would honestly, it's like,
okay.
look,
I think
So
you
then
should,
even scratching the rule, Jalen Hurts goes out. I don't have a backup quarterback. Past week 13, I can't trade for a new quarterback. The only ones I can get on waiver
what
wire.
I would do here if I were you is I would make this trade and then just like to me or some Luke with Will Levis, like you could get a backup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the upside of Mitchell makes it worth trading someone who's probably never going to start on your team.
Yeah. Well, dude, Baker Mayfield is
Are you ever going to start Mayfield over Hurts?
No, not if Hurts is healthy. No.
Exactly. And like
Right.
odds are he's going to finish out the season.
Probably. But if the off chance that he doesn't, and I have to fill that quarterback spot, and I'm still trying to make a push for the end of the season, I would rather have Baker Mayfield than
does Keaton
Anybody
Mitchell,
else's backup?
Does Keaton Mitchell crack your starting lineup?
yeah.
Would you start Keaton? Well, I mean, what did he do this
so.
week? He put up
He did
single
good.
digits, right?
No.
He
He
went
had a long
in
touchdown
the last
reception.
2 weeks. He's put up
did he?
13 and 19.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he's been a stud.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he would start.
He would
then.
definitely take Jonu's spot. My last flex spot without Madison now is Darius Slayton. He would take that spot for sure.
Oh, if I were you, then I would do this.
Yeah.
I definitely would.
I'm also tempted to start Jack Stoll though. I think he might.
I think it'll be really interesting.
I think
to see
he
what
might actually
does,
put up
yeah.
like 10 points next week.
Really?
No Dallas Goedert.
You know, Michael Mayer did pretty good this
Yeah, I
week.
saw that. Dude, I told Luke about this. I saw a Barstool video where they're watching that game. This dude put a bet on Michael Mayer first touchdown, and it hit in the fourth quarter.
Oh man,
It was the first touchdown of the game.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I know. All the rest of the scoring was all field goals. But yeah, I did see Michael Mayer scored.
Which side do you guys fall on?
I would rather have Keaton Mitchell.
Same.
I would probably rather have Baker, but I think it's
Soft.
I know.
All right. That's scared fantasy football managing Jack.
yeah. Well, it's been working for me so far.
I
I'm
guess-
pretty much smack dab in the middle of the league.
I guess if you look at it though, it totally. I think it's a good trade for both sides
Yeah.
because if I was Bakanzi, I would rather have Baker.
Yeah, I
than
actually
Keaton.
think I agree with you.
And
I think
if I
I'm-
was you, I'd rather have Keaton. So I think
I'm
this
pretty
is-
close. It's
if I tank, honestly, Token would not be like Howell would probably be a good target for him.
Yeah,
But Howell actually probably has keeper value.
he definitely does. He
What was
was
he drafted for?
a buck.
You're
think-
kidding me.
was Baker a buck? Baker might have been a buck too.
I mean, I'd much rather have Howell.
Howell could get benched at any moment, Peterson.
Don't
Any
use my
moment.
logic
Yeah,
against me.
that's right.
Yeah,
Gosh, I hate that trade. That
That was
trade makes
was a
me
good trade.
so
Herbert.
Yeah.
What was it? It was Herbert and
Khalil
Howell
Herbert
for $5 and a
in a
25 second.
so bad.
That worked out well for me.
Such a bad trade.
Really got me
worked
into a
out well
good
for
spot
you.
in this league.
Yeah. That's true. It's not like you traded with
I was gonna
somebody now
say,
he's in
yeah,
contention
no,
in top 6.
It's true.
It would just be
my
nice to
fear
have Howell
was that I
going
would
in.
never get value for Howell.
At that time, I think I came out slightly on top, but I don't think it was a bad trade at the time.
I think it was.
I remember people were giving you crap for it. Or
Rightfully so.
For Weren't they giving Andy crap?
No, they're giving me
Oh,
crap.
were they?
I think what was Birch's line? He's like, "Oh, you ready to get wrecked in another trade?"
Yeah. Yep. He said that, and it hurt.
I think all these are really good trade possibilities because they are very on the fence. Like I could see either way. It probably would benefit both of us, but factors can play into it, and it could kill. Like let's say Baker goes out, and then now he doesn't have Keaton Mitchell to put up 15 points for him in his flex spot, and he needs a quarterback again.
I don't think Keaton Mitchell averages 15.
That'd be
rest of
pretty
the season?
amazing.
That'd
be great
insane.
for you.
That would be pretty
I
great.
think Keaton Mitchell,
I think he's a boom bust, like RB3.
yeah. If
So then
they-
I definitely wouldn't trade him for Baker.
I still think this is a backup quarterback on your team. Like you're trying to improve your starting lineup.
I think I have the best backup quarterback in the league.
I don't think so.
I don't think
Who
that.
else?
Me.
Who's your backup?
Well, I have both Tua and Kyler.
Will
Those are your
Levis.
backups? Oh,
I mean, whoever I don't start.
I would
is-
rather have Kyler.
I would rather have Baker than Kyler.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No way.
For the rest of this season, for sure.
No. I feel like we need a bet here.
A ham Sammy. What did Kyler put up yesterday?
Need a rushing touchdown.
We put like 17 or 18.
Baker put up 24.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, first
I
game
would
back.
bet. So rest of the season, Baker head to head v Kyler.
Yeah, I would take that.
What do you want to bet?
Ham sandwich.
I'll
No,
jump
more
in
than
on
that.
I'll give you a. You guys want to do a $5 bet?
Oh,
$5 bet. Everybody puts 5 in. If I win, I get 10. If you guys win, you both get 5.
No. Wait, oh, you're putting in 10 then.
Yeah.
If
that's
everybody puts in 5.
that makes no sense.
Well, I
That-
know.
that math
I had
doesn't add
to.
up.
I had to redo it in my head.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
but
so
that's-
wait,
so that
we
changes
put
a
in
lot.
5
I wouldn't do
and
it for
we get
2.
5. All
All right,
right.
I'm not doing it anymore.
No.
Yeah. Too much controversy.
Back to a ham
I
sandwich.
wouldn't do it for only 250 back.
No,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
All right, moving on to our next trade. Turf Hoppers and Bourbon Barrels. Turf Hoppers would potentially receive Stephon Diggs. Bourbon Barrels would receive a 24, 26, and 28 first-round pick. This is a fatty. This is a fatty.
That is.
But I think Diggs would be worth that.
No.
Yeah, everything has to be compared to the Olave trade, and then
No, it doesn't.
No, but
That's
then,
like the worst trade of the year.
Look at the Kirk and Cook trade too.
That's like saying every single QB signing has to be compared to Deshaun Watson. I don't
does.
think any team would.
It does.
It does. If you compare it to Deshaun Watson, every team's going to be like, it needs to be way less than that because that was way overvalued. So if you're comparing it to the Olave trade, this is probably an
I'm just saying,
overpay.
like you had multiple teams offering that though for Olave.
I did have.
You're telling me
multiple
if Turf or if Bourbon Barrels didn't put Diggs on the trade block, you don't think he'd receive the 3 first-round picks for it?
No.
Oh,
Maybe.
I'm on your side. I'm just saying I'm not on your side because of how it's compared to Olave.
Oh, that's fine.
I
Yeah.
think it could happen, but I think if it did happen, I'd be like, you got robbed.
I don't think so.
I think
3
okay,
first-round
if
picks is
Turf Hoppers gets Diggs,
Yeah.
he's he's 4th right now.
Well, if Turf Hoppers gets Diggs, Diggs gets injured.
An excellent point. I did not consider that.
That is true. That is a kiss of death.
The fact that
Yeah.
Austin is still 4th after all the injuries.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty
it's
impressive.
Super impressive. Yeah, 7 guys out, and he still put up, 100 points this week?
Yeah, he still beat me.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
If I'm Austin,
I take it.
I think I do it.
Diggs was drafted for 49.
Yeah.
So you give up this year's first.
I really
to
don't think
whatever
this
you-
year's first would be that valuable.
No.
No, this year's first wouldn't matter that much.
True.
It would be the next 2, and you get Diggs for a championship push this year, and keep him next year.
I think this would put him into that upper echelon of teams, and I think that would be worth it. And that's what I think we were so critical of the Olave trade because that didn't put Freebie into true championship
No.
contention.
No.
Like
Did
if
you
he had,
see Olave
he
with
did have a
Winston?
good game. He did have a good game.
I think it's a car issue. I think we're figuring out that
you
it's
might not
I
be
think it
wrong
actually
there.
is a car
Yeah.
issue. I would agree with that.
yeah.
Car.
Funny. He's had multiple car issues this year.
Wait, what?
He got,
I was trying to get a car pun in
That's
there, and
funny.
then you got it. right?
Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't even put that together. For me, I would take the 3 first-round picks for Diggs.
You'd rather be on the first.
I would rather be on the first-round pick
Jack
side.
playing safe here. You noticing a theme here? Luke?
Shocking.
The guy who's 10 and
Safe?
10 after this week, just
Playing it safe.
wet noodle.
Are we also you have to like bring into the equation that Bourbon Barrels are taking 3 first-round picks. I'd still rather be on that side than be Austin with Diggs, I think. And then
I think this is a win-win trade.
yeah.
But I think
do
I
too.
would. The only reason I would lean Austin is he is contending for a championship.
Yeah.
With us.
Yep.
So I think Oh,
I think it's worth it. The one question that I have with it is what we can't really know until next year or the year after. The trades, the giving up the 3 first-rounders this year,
Yeah.
we look at it and it's like, okay, the draft picks are gone. Whatever, you don't get the draft value, that's fine. But you lose trade leverage for next season. If you can't offer this, like at some point you run out of first-round picks.
True.
that's why, I mean, Freebie is kind of,
Right.
he doesn't have too much to offer. I mean, well, I guess he could trade. He has 2 firsts still, right?
He has 2 firsts.
Yep.
He has he has
But if you blow
2025 and 2027.
If you blow all those picks and like you don't win a championship, that sucks.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I see this too. And I know you're teasing me for being cautious, but
No, I also get it.
Yeah, like, if
you
I'm-
don't want to be in the position of I have no assets and I'm not contending for a
yeah,
championship.
the thing that I'd be so scared of as Austin is you bring in Diggs. It doesn't go the way that you think it's going to go, even though it probably should, because Diggs is, an elite wide receiver. You finish 5th, and now you have no assets for the next,
But
But
the thing
you
is,
do.
he's
You have
still,
Diggs.
and also he
But if
could
you-
sell Diggs in theoretically for
you could
2
sell him.
firsts or
He's
something.
not when next year?
I'm just saying, like, yes,
Okay, so yeah,
Like,
But
yeah, that's
with,
true.
With
You
the
could recoup
54
some
with the
value.
50 what $2 hit to your
53.
$53 hit to your salary.
I'm just saying there'd be
don't
ways
know.
to kind of like ham and egg it if it didn't work out.
I think the
I guess
deciding
like
factor is,
maybe I should walk it back. Like you don't have you wouldn't have no assets. You wouldn't have no assets.
you ain't got no asses.
As assassins, I can say that. But like you are getting a very valuable player who could then be sold down the road. So like
Agreed.
that is a very
True.
valuable asset.
That's true.
Yeah,
it's
you get
just
him-
not like again, you're giving up a lot of picks to do so.
Yeah. I brought that fear up, but talking through it, I definitely think that you're going to have to take, if you're going to sell picks for a championship, a guy like Diggs and a year like this for sleepers is the time to do it.
Yeah.
When the pot's
turf
probably the
hoppers,
biggest it'll be in the, yes, sorry.
Yeah.
Who did I say?
sleepers.
Yes.
That's the
sorry.
only reason I picked
Jack's
up on
not contending for a championship.
yeah, that's right. Stupid.
Okay.
Jack's trying to get number 8.
Yeah. Well, I'd love 6th, to be honest. Like
6 to 10.
6, no. 6 to 10.
No, I think it'd be 10.
6
That'd be
to
cool.
9 and 10 are so much worse.
6 to 10. 6 to 10.
I'd rather be 12th than 9th,
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up in like 9th this year.
probably.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think I'm going to be that.
don't
I
think you're that
honestly,
high.
I think you're 10th.
this week,
I don't think you're that high.
we'll get into it later.
I
But
think you're 14th.
Shut up,
We're
Jack.
getting closer.
I don't think you're 14th.
Probably
think,
12th. If
I think Barnacles pass you.
Oh my gosh.
that would be shameful.
putting up 21 points a week.
We have to talk about that
All
too.
right. Yeah, we'll get to that. Next trade. Do we have time for one more? Let's do one more trade.
Yeah, we'll do it
I
quick.
think
Yep.
Yeah.
Acorn Assassins.
No. We need to spend our time on this one, boys.
Okay, then let's take a quick break.
We don't need to take a break. It's fine.
Okay, then Acorn Assassins. quick. Let's take a quick break.
All right, that's fine.
All right.
All right, and we're back.
And we're back.
Getting into our next trade, we have the Acorn Assassins and the Unicorn Fart. The Acorn Assassins would receive
The unicorn fort.
Unicorn Fart. Fart. Acorn
Every
Assassins.
time I hear unicorn fart, I think unicorn fat.
Unicorn Fart.
It does feel like they're from Boston.
Acorn Assassins receive Jordan Addison and $5.
Sleepers.
Is there
I believe.
another side of the trade?
Yeah. Well, it says
Unicorn
sleepers
Fart.
receive
Yeah.
Ramondre.
Oh,
Nice
yeah.
job there. We need to get the circus
my bad.
music going.
Unicorn would receive Ramondre Stevenson. This is a fun one, actually.
Which side are you guys on?
I'm on the side that Acorn Assassins receives Jordan Addison and $5.
I would much rather have Addison and $5.
I would much rather have Jordan Addison with no $5 over Ramondre Stevenson.
Interesting.
Are you saying like you would rather have Addison for your team build than Ramondre?
Addison for
No,
Stevenson
if-
straight up.
If I had a generic team, if I had all even slots, I would rather have Jordan Addison on my team. If I had Ramondre Stevenson, I would trade him for Jordan Addison.
Okay.
Because I think Jordan Addison is going to have that value that we're talking about.
Even going for a championship.
Yeah.
Well, I think
probably.
on Connor's team, looking at his running back core, wide receiver is definitely the strength of his team with Chase and AJ Brown.
Yes.
And running back, I think, is probably one of his weaker positions with Pollard and Ford. And who is the other? That guy, the running back.
That guy.
Well, he's got
Oh,
Cam
yeah.
Akers, but he's out for the season.
Yeah. So I think
He has, who does he have? Tony Pollard, Jerome Ford, and
so. That's why I think
That's
this
it.
deal makes sense.
He has no backup running backs right now.
So yeah, this trade would actually make sense for him.
And I want to say Stevenson might be in a bye next week, but like Connor's in a spot to not really worry about bye weeks.
Yeah.
So if I'm Connor, I'd probably consider, and Stevenson's had a good last 2 weeks. Or I mean, actually 2 weeks ago was his best week of the season, and this last week, I think he had a little over 10.
Yeah, he had 11, and then the week before he had like 19 with a touchdown or something.
That's what I was trying to get him for Mark Andrews.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that trade was ridiculous.
That was not that ridiculous.
That was such a bad trade.
Literally, I was losing on
Looking
Fantasy
back,
Pros.
it would help your roster.
It would have helped my roster this week.
The last couple weeks, right?
No.
So who's being ridiculous here?
Let's see what the trade was. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's get away from this trade.
Say,
Yeah.
we're moving away from this segment to a different segment. It's related.
Previous trade bait.
Yes.
Dang it. Should have said previously on trade bait.
So this was before Madison got injured. And this was after Madison came off of a 16-point game with a touchdown.
Yep.
And Cam Akers goes out for the season. So Madison was projected to be the lead running back in Minnesota. Mark Andrews and Madison for David Montgomery. Now it looks like, yeah, it would have paid off. It would have been a good trade because Andrews had a bad week. But Andrews is probably top 3 tight end in a league that there's not a lot of tight ends. And
You
Madison,
have 3 tight ends.
And Madison was looking, no, I only have 2 now.
At the time.
Oh, I guess I have 3 now because I picked up Jack Stoll, but I didn't have him at the time. Oh, no, I did pick him up because I wanted you to trade for him.
You were like price gouging me like crazy with Jack Stoll. All right.
I was not.
Yes, you were.
What was I saying?
We never actually got to Jack Stoll, but I just knew you would. All right.
I just knew you would. You could feel it.
I think back to the trade that we're talking about, Jordan Addison and $5 from Andre Stevenson. I think you'd be crazy not to take it, especially with the trajectory that your team is going. Trajection?
Yeah.
Trajection.
Trajection.
Trajectory.
Trajectory.
That sounded bad.
What I said?
I was about to say trajeculation, but I didn't stop myself.
And then I didn't stop myself.
Then I said it.
It sounded like a George Bushism. Trajection.
Trajection.
We're gonna find
Pull me
Hurricane
twice. You can't
Katrina
get fooled again.
and bring her to justice.
I think it's an overpay.
For
For
Ramondre.
giving up, for
Yeah.
Ramondre.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Addison for Stevenson, I would do. If I'm Connor, I would look for something else rather than Stevenson. If
What
I'm-
if
I'm
Montgomery
starting
was the running back instead of Stevenson?
Montgomery for Jordan, $5. I think you're way closer.
that? Yeah,
I feel like I'm not getting a good end of the deal there.
you're getting Addison.
And
I think
$5.
Again, Montgomery was drafted for $17.
that's true.
It's just there's a question mark in Detroit now.
That's also true.
Has Montgomery had a
Stir that pot,
that's
Luke.
good.
Stir that pot.
Ooh, that's good.
Ooh, bet you didn't think about
Say
that.
more.
yeah.
Has David Montgomery had a bad game this season when he's played the whole game?
No, he's played well.
Just saying.
I know.
Lawyered.
The future is Jahmyr Gibbs though.
I don't know. Again, Gibbs is not a big running back. Like, yes, he's been getting more work.
He also got goal line carries.
Isn't he like the same
So did
size as
Montgomery.
Bijan Robinson?
But Gibbs got in from a yard out.
Okay. Like, I want to say Montgomery had like how many red zone carries did he have?
I don't know. He only had 12 carries in the game.
They're definitely
I don't
away.
think Gibbs had that many more than him.
More
16
receptions
maybe.
though, probably.
For sure.
16 to 12 is
That's
pretty
not
big.
that many.
What's the percentage on that? It's 25%?
Oh my gosh.
More? 25% target share, run share, whatever. That's a massive gap.
I don't do math, so
Yeah, you try to get us to bet $5 for $5.
yeah. Well, deals off the table, Andy. Stop bringing it up.
I'm just saying 21 for 74 and a touchdown, 16 for 67 and a touchdown, 32 for 121 and 3 touchdowns, 19 for 109 and a touchdown, 12 for 116 and a touchdown.
Montgomery.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Literally, he's been an RB1 almost every single week he's played.
Okay, so what would you want from so you wouldn't do Montgomery for Addison in 5?
I would not.
Would you do
I think I could
Montgomery
get
for
more-
Addison in 10?
I would think about that.
Would you do Montgomery for Addison in 11?
I think about it even more.
Oh, okay.
Say
We're
more.
getting
Say more.
I think you're closer with the Montgomery trade. I don't think Ramondre Stevenson holds a lot of value right now, and I think everybody else thinks the same thing.
I mean, you wanted him.
I did.
I think
Well, I was very desperate for running back. Maybe the most desperate team in the league.
I think he holds value in that he's serviceable, but
He's serviceable and he gets lots of carries. I think he's like a
on a
middling to
very bad offense.
Mac Jones looks so freaking bad.
He looks
Did you see
so
that
And
last
I don't
pass he
think
threw?
Bailey Zappi's going to look any better.
No, I
He
don't
can't
either.
look worse than Mac Jones.
He
Sure, he
did
can.
on
He
the
can
last
try.
on the last drive.
I choose to believe that he thought they had an offsides, and that's why he threw it into quadruple coverage.
Good.
However, that's my truth, and you can't do anything.
Okay,
to
that's
sway
true.
that opinion.
That's my narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one's tough. I'm taking Jordan Addison's side though.
Yep.
I
would
think
rather
you
have
guys are
Addison
probably
in
right
5.
where it's slightly in my favor, but
Yeah.
I think if it was just Addison for Stevenson, I think that's a fair trade too.
I think that's a super fair trade. I think that's almost like balance. I think the $5 pushes you into the winning category like pretty easily.
But like $3, I mean, that would be.
Yeah, you're probably getting closer, maybe like $2, $2 in Addison for Ramondre. I could see it.
That would be actually a good deal in that it still lets me toe the line a little bit of trying. I mean, not really pulling.
But yeah,
Well, you're putting your value into keepers now and still towing the line.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
All right, so the last trade of the night, we have the Lumberjacks and Pondfeet. Lumberjacks receive Austin Eckler. Pondfeet receives 2025 first-round pick, 2027 first-round pick, and $15.
So which side do you guys think you're on? Because I think I am on the Pondfeet side right now. But
I definitely would be on Pondfeet. I don't think Eckler is worth 2 firsts and 15. I would maybe do 2 firsts and a 5.
Again, if Eckler goes on the open market, I think he gets more than this.
Okay, what's Eckler done in the last?
He's been good the last 2 weeks.
Has he been
Yeah,
really
he's a
good?
stud.
I think he's had 4 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks.
I would much rather have Diggs for 3 first-round picks than Eckler for because
you got the potential for keeper value.
You were saying that a first is 15.
I think 15-ish is about right.
So you're essentially talking about 3 first-round picks here.
Because he
I
doesn't.
mean, would you guys give up 3 firsts for Eckler?
No.
I don't think I would either.
But I wouldn't
So
give
that's why this is.
I wouldn't
think
give 3 firsts for Diggs either. And I honestly would rather finish out the season with Eckler. So if you're like looking for a championship right now, which I don't think the Lumberjacks can, they're too far out now.
That's another thing.
I think if
what
this
is
was-
he gaining with Eckler?
yeah.
I mean, he gains a better shot at being
Top
promoted.
8, yeah.
But he's also. Let's take a look at how much he's.
Would you
already
trade
spent.
the 8th spot in the league for a lack of future for the next 4 years?
Oh, man.
Because that's essentially what
No.
we're talking about right now.
I don't think I would either.
I don't think it's worth it for the Lumberjacks to do this. If I was Pondfeet, I would take it, actually. I've changed my mind a little bit. But
Lumberjacks is probably the team you'd want to sell to
yeah.
because he is pushing for it. He's on the edge, and it could go very poorly.
Yes. I think if he gets Austin Eckler...
Love you, Ross, but...
I think if he gets Austin Eckler, there's no way he... I think he breaks top 12 for sure. I think he breaks top 10 probably. I think he could even finish 8th, 7th. But the amount of future that he's given up to get to that spot
He's already
is not worth it.
He's $14 in the hole heading into next year. So if he makes this deal, he's $29 in the hole with no first or second round pick next year.
For the next 4 years.
No. He would have 26.
Not the next 4.
Right? Because he's already traded away his...
He's traded away
24s.
He's traded away 24.
4 picks in the next 4
in the next
3 years?
4 picks in the
Jack,
next
you don't do math.
4 years.
I know.
But 3 first round picks in the next 4 years.
Oh, gotcha. Wasn't it 2 firsts?
That is
2 firsts and a second for 2024 or 20?
He traded the
it's
first round
just a
pick to Heinrichs for Kirk and Cook.
Okay.
A
Traded
first and a second.
Yep. And then he traded, was it 20 auction dollars?
And
that's what it
20
was.
auction dollars, but he received 6 auction dollars in previous
Okay.
In the
trades.
Tony Pollard trade?
He received $2 in the Pat Fryermuth and Rondell Moore trade. I think that was the first trade of the year.
Which paid out huge for him, actually.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Fryermuth has done
Fryermuth's
nothing.
done, and Rondell Moore actually, well, he's not great, but
And then
in
in the trade where he gave up Addison, Pollard, Pitts,
Pollard.
Carl. He got back DeAndre Swift, Brandon Ayuk, Keenan Allen, and $4.
That was a good trade for him.
Huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah,
massive.
if I'm looking at this from an outside perspective, I'd rather be on Pondfeet's side, for sure.
What would you guys trade Eckler for if you were Pondfeet?
I would give 2 first
Or
round
actually,
picks.
no. Let's
for
rephrase that.
Eckler,
What would you pay to get Eckler?
I'd probably give 2
2
firsts.
firsts?
Probably
Yeah.
2 firsts. But I'm in the same boat with Diggs though. I think I'd give
Honestly,
2 firsts for Diggs.
you would be in a good spot to give up. Like Eckler would really improve your.
Would you
team.
like to see my text message thread to Ian about getting Eckler? Because I look like a desperate ex-girlfriend.
This is probably a pointless discussion because I don't know if Ian's trading anybody.
No. His fire sale includes 0 sales.
You had like 30 seconds for the fire sale.
No.
Actually, no, you both responded.
I responded immediately. I was in the
I
middle
sent a text like an hour later. I'm like, oh, this will be sweet when I get in Jigba. That did not materialize.
No, dude.
Your goal was in Jigba in his fire sale?
No, I was just like, I thought, I'm like, oh, this is like, everyone's going to be going for these big guys. I'm like, I'll toe the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I was in the middle of a paintball game, got out of the paintball game, saw that my phone had buzzed, texted him immediately, what do you want for Eckler? Didn't respond to me for like 2 weeks. Ouch. Sorry, I was working.
He's busy. He's saving lives.
Long shift.
He's saving
Long
lives.
Yeah,
shift.
not my life. He's killing me.
You're killing me,
You're
Smalls.
killing me, Smalls. But yeah, I would take the pawn feet side on this one. All right, time to get into matchup review. Do we have final scores at this point?
I believe so.
That Buffalo game's still going. There's still 35 seconds left, but Diggs put up a whopping 4.9.
Dang, man. That's a good game. 22-21. Bills up.
Yeah, that's crazy. Diggs did not make it happen today.
And the Broncos are driving.
Should we start with my matchup?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, sure,
All right.
Jack. Why don't we just start with you like every other
I am
time?
the most important person here.
Yeah, actually.
By far.
I think Luke and I both can agree. He's more important than us.
Just kidding. Sun City Sleepers put up 82.62. Bartonville Bourbon Barrels put up 62.72. Oh, yeah. This was an interesting week. I was projected to put up 95.21. He was projected to put up 72.9. Coming into tonight, if Diggs would have put up 25 points, he would have beat me. So a couple of guys that were really disappointing. And honestly, the guy that I really want to talk about, Marquise Brown. He's been crazy disappointing for the last like 3 weeks.
You want to trade him?
I'd be willing to trade him, but
I'd actually be open.
He had a 20-yard drop touchdown in the end zone.
Yep.
That would have changed.
Was it a
this
bad
game
drop?
A lot.
for sure.
No,
it was a tough
had to
catch.
reach for it.
Yeah, but
and
I was watching it. Like, it was in his hands, though. Like, he sprawled out for it, in his hands, just dropped it.
it was honestly
sucks.
a bad pass by Kyler.
Yeah.
It was overthrown by about half a yard.
Baker would have made that pass. Marquise Brown put up 3.3 points. That really killed me. Alexander Madison going out early killed me. He only put up 3.8.
I feel like you're just like dumping in your team and you won.
Yeah, but I got lucky. I
Yeah,
played a
I
team that
think
put
you're
up
right.
62
Median.
points.
Yeah.
I missed the median by almost 18 points.
Yeah.
So
this was a high scoring median week.
I
though.
stole a win this week. But like Alexander Madison, 3.8. Mark Andrews only put up 5.4. Jonnu Smith had 1 catch for 1 yard, 0.6, after like
Yeah.
the best game of his career.
Jenna.
And James Conner slid on the 1 yard line to avoid a touchdown so that they could kill the clock.
I mean, 73 rush yards. I think that's encouraging.
No, yeah, he had a great game. He would have.
That's just unlucky.
Yeah.
So that's unlike Madison, who was terrible, then got hurt.
Yeah, true.
Hubbard been really disappointing 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. Did he have a bad?
Yeah, he didn't have a good game.
He put up 4.9 this week, and I'm pretty sure last week he put up less than that.
No.
No,
He put up
I think he had a better
8.7
week
last week.
week.
Did he?
Yeah.
I thought he put up like 2 points. Was that a? Maybe I'm way off.
Since week 6, he's kind of gotten the starting nod because Miles Sanders went out. He got 15.5. Then they had a bye week. They played Houston. He got the nod. He put up 6.4. Not anything impressive. Next week, he put up 8.7. So I was like, all right, bet. They're giving him more time. He's getting more touches. He's probably going to find the end zone. And then this week, he put up 4.9. And it was
true.
pretty disappointing because he was projected to put up 11.
For some reason, I thought he put up like 2 last week. So I was like, it's been back-to-back bad weeks.
Either
No.
way, it has not been great the last 2
But
weeks.
the guy that's been carrying me is CD frickin' Lamb.
So good.
Bro, in the last 3 weeks, he's put up 35, 22.6, and 34.
It's kind of nice to have a disappointing 22-point week.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. He's like playing like Tyreek Hill right now.
Honest, I mean,
Yeah.
I know a couple
Yeah, he
weeks
is.
ago we talked about who would you want to have on your
AJ
team.
Brown.
AJ Brown, CD Lamb, Jamar Chase. Like CD Lamb is pushing for that number 1 wide
Oh,
He
receiver
actually
spot.
is making a move for it. CeeDee Lamb is like one of those guys now that I'm like, yeah, he probably won't finish out the season putting up 30 points a game, but I don't have any interest in trading him because that Dallas offense is
You also got him for a
targeting
pretty good price, didn't you?
43. Yeah.
I mean, he'll be kept next year.
He'll
Yeah.
be kept for sure.
Oh, that was my
That was-
worst
yep.
not bid up.
That was
Yeah.
you should have been on that.
That was probably my best pickup of the draft was CD.
I really wanted Olave. I thought Olave would go. Had I already drafted Olave
I
at that
believe
point?
you had.
I
But
think
I
that's
thought you
what
were
it
going to
was.
buy another elite receiver.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing about
yeah.
CeeDee Lamb, though, to start the season, he was very boomer bust, like to get it going.
Mm-hmm.
9.7, had a good game. 8.2, had a decent game, 12.8. 6.9, and then he got 15, and then since then he hasn't really stopped. So, and he's past his bye week. So like very valuable now. But to start the season, I was thinking about trading CeeDee Lamb. Like I was willing to put him on the block.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Nobody took me up on it. The guys that I was talking to, weren't super interested in it or didn't see the value in it, which I don't blame him because he wasn't really putting that much value up to start the season.
And then
Did squeak out, but yeah,
I think
Bartonville and Barrels had a tough week.
I was gonna say over to Joe. I think this ended his season.
Yeah, I do too.
gonna be 5-15. He basically, how many weeks do we have left until the playoffs?
4? Is it? So next week will be 11. So we have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 5
weeks
games.
I think he would literally have to go
10-0.
10-0.
Yeah, I don't
see his team doing that.
No, I think this is time for him to burn it down.
Well, he even said that to me because I had texted him on Thursday morning and I had said, "What do you want for Diggs?" And he was like, "I play you this week." And I was like, "Oh, I kind of assumed that you were tanking." And he was like, "Well, I'm going to wait it out this week and see what happens." And I was like, "All right, well, let me know if I do end up beating you. Let me know what you want for Diggs at the end of the week." So I'm assuming
3 first-round picks.
If he says 3 first-round picks, I won't take it.
Okay.
But if he says,
I think if I'm you, I probably wouldn't do that either.
If there's
Like to
I
just
wouldn't
push
either.
for like the 6th spot.
No, I think that's a move for Avalanche turf hoppers, long necks.
maybe Avalanche. I think they might be on the outside of that now too. But
I think if they get Diggs, they're back in it.
yeah, potentially. Yeah,
We also
they're a tough
really
team.
like his team. Like he's got a good.
He's got a really good team. Yeah, he just had a bad week.
And
but
the other guys that Joe could trade, Lamar Jackson. But he's been a little disappointing the
he's
last
been
couple weeks.
dude. He's had a disappointing
Even though the
season,
Ravens
hasn't
are actually they lost this week.
he? Lamar Jackson has had 4 solid games, 3 solid games. Outside of that, he's been pretty disappointing. 7.56, 10.94, 13.98, 11.48, 16.02. That is not an elite quarterback.
I don't know exactly where he stands, but my guess is he's probably somewhere around QB 8, 9.
He's exactly 8.
Really?
Oh, I think, yeah. The rank says 8. That's not overall, is it?
I think that's overall.
Oh, is it? Well, then he's probably higher than 8.
I would guess he's like 6.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know why it just feels so disappointing because I think there was high expectations about him this season.
And then what do you guys think that Joe could get for Cooper Kupp in a trade?
That's a tough one too.
Do you get a first?
No.
I do.
I think
Tank Dell can get a first, but Cooper Kupp can't.
Yeah, that's what I don't.
Well, it's the future of it. Are you keeping Cooper Kupp next year?
There's no way he got bought for that much because he was out for the first 4 games of the season, right? I bet you he went for like $25.
Let's take a look. Take a look what he's at.
I would guess like over 30.
You think so? Even with his starting out the season not playing?
47.
Holy cow!
All right, he won't be kept.
No way. No, I wouldn't trade that for.
I would trade a first-round pick for Kupp.
I would not for the rest of the season because you don't know the status of Matthew Stafford.
And we don't know that right now.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
So I think if he holds off till week 13 with Kupp, and Stafford's back, then I'd give a first for him. But right now without Stafford,
no,
definitely not.
Kind of
not
going
with-
back
with
to what
no
we were
keeper
talking
value.
about, like he'll just sell him for whatever he can get. Because if he's truly tanking, it's like I'm not going to keep him.
No, but you just hold him till week 13 and sell him.
Oh
then.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
But like if someone offered him 2 second-round picks for Kupp right now, there's no way I would
Yeah.
take that.
2 second-round picks.
Yeah.
For Kupp. No, his last 3 weeks though, 5.9, 4.1, 5.8, and then a bye. Like he's had 2 good games to start out the season, but
And those are his first 2 games of the season.
yeah, misses the first 4 weeks, plays well, and then just decline. So like it's pretty evident that something's not going right in Los Angeles. And if Stafford's out, like what's the expectation that Cooper
Carson
Kupp,
Wentz, baby.
is that what they're saying?
Yeah. Well, one signed. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
He'd be better than what's
it's
his
killing
face?
Baker Mayfield.
There's a bet. All right.
All right. Should we move on to the next game?
Yeah, let's do it. Getting into our next matchup of the week, we got the Great North Number Punchers at 100.72. Old York Yerkees at 33.86.
Wow, this one was close.
Yeah, this was
Okay,
a nail biter.
Here's the big thing about this.
Yeah,
I
tell
had
us,
that
Luke.
30-point bet with Heinrichs. It was the low score, but it had to exceed 30.
Yep.
Heinrichs didn't exceed 30.
Right.
So I win the bet.
Let's
It
go.
was pretty impressive that you got only 33.86.
I know.
You did pretty well, actually.
Ty Chandler, boys.
Ty Chandler and Kyler Murray had
28.
28. a little over
29.
yeah.
Ty
And then the rest of your team had 4.
Let's go through who
Ty
Luke
Chandler
started.
is on the market.
All right,
Yeah,
we've
let's talk about
got
this.
Lil Jordan Humphrey. Is that
1.9, dude. He had a good night.
is it Trey Tucker?
He actually did triple
Yeah.
his projection.
I know.
Foster Moreau with 0. Ty Chandler 10.5, solid week.
Thank you.
Is that Travion
Travion
Williams?
Williams, yes.
Who is this? Iosivas?
Oh, he got injured? That's why I scored so low. Andre Iosivas.
I've literally never heard of him.
He's had a couple, I think he's had like 2 or 3 touchdowns this year.
Oh
But he has 2 touchdowns.
Oh my gosh.
October 15th and October 29th.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Well done this week. Honestly, that's impressive to
Thank you.
only go 3.86 points over your projected goal.
Yeah.
know.
That's pretty insane, actually.
I know. I'm pretty proud of myself.
You did well.
Thank you.
And then number punchers.
Christian McCaffrey did not get a touchdown.
He did.
What a failure.
I
Right?
know.
When they interviewed him after the game, he said, "I suck. Everybody on the team got a touchdown but me."
I love McCaffrey.
Yeah, dude. How can you not like that guy?
Taysom Hill, not a great week either.
Brian Robinson, great week.
I believe you mean
Deontay
Bijan,
Johnson.
right?
Oh, is that-
Deontay Johnson,
No, it's-
one catch. One catch for 17 yards.
That's
Deontay.
Yeah.
I did not expect that.
No, I thought he'd go off.
Yeah. Chris Godwin had a pretty average game, 54 yards on 4 catches. Probably could have gotten a couple more catches, but
Just, I think overall, pretty solid week from number punchers.
Yeah.
Especially with Kelsey on bye.
yeah.
And then I guess Dobbs had a really good game.
Yeah, Dobbs might
Do
be.
you think Birch thinks about starting Dobbs over Goff at any time?
I think he
in the
thinks
future?
about it.
Yeah.
Dobbs over who?
Jared Gurf.
Romeo Dobbs over Jared Goff?
Josh
Not
Dobbs.
Romeo Dobbs. Josh Dobbs.
Oh,
the
Josh
Vikings.
Dobbs. Oh, I was like, because he's got Romeo Dobbs too. So I'm looking at him.
He does.
Yeah, so I'm like, how's that work? Has
It
he got,
doesn't,
has he got
Jack.
Goff in his flex?
We've converted this to a super flex.
Only for him.
Jared Goff has been impressive this year.
This is going to sound bad as a Vikings fan. I like watching the Lions.
I do too.
Oh, I don't think it sounds bad.
And I
the
kind
Lions are
of,
fun.
I don't mind rooting for them.
I don't either. I would never root for him over the Vikings.
Yeah, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but
I
I,
have some,
enjoy
yeah.
it.
Well, the funny thing is, this is like the first time in our like division history where it's like you kind of can't root for them too much though because that's the team we have to beat.
I think the
literally
Lions,
never been the
they're
case.
going to run away with the division.
And we'll get wild card.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I
like the
so
Lions.
It's,
I
like,
hope they run away with it so much that they don't have to play anybody week 17.
Yep.
And we get a free win and walk into the playoffs.
Oh, interesting.
That would be, dude, Josh Dobbs playoff game. That'd be awesome.
That would be
be really
awesome.
yeah. Did you guys see the video of him, someone showing him the locker room because he didn't know where it was?
Yes,
That was
so
awesome.
good. It's so funny.
The NFL is still definitely banking on that, like that Dobbs doesn't like know anybody in Minnesota still kind of thing.
Oh, 100%.
They're playing into it so
Fox
much
was
like
going-
Josh Dobbs found like can't locate his own locker room. Like, you know, they're just because
was
people
so
are eating it up on socials
Well,
right now.
on Fox,
Are we in Arizona next week?
I think we're.
Watch him walk to the other.
Yeah,
he
go
goes
see
to
the
the
locker
other
room.
locker room.
Yeah. It's like, what up, Tyler? What up, Josh? What up, guys? Let's go beat these guys.
It is. Let's see.
Dead.
Wait, no, we
air.
play the Broncos next week.
Oh,
My bad.
You lied.
I've been telling
sit
I've been
on
telling
the
everyone
throne of
I know that we're playing the
lies.
Cardinals
I'm
next week.
gonna keep that going. Actually,
That's
I'm gonna start telling
embarrassing.
people that we're playing the Cardinals now. Now that I know.
Let's just. No one will know.
Yeah.
All right?
Nobody will know.
Uh-huh.
All right, what's the next matchup we got?
All right, our next matchup, we are looking at the Texas Turf Hoppers against the Acorn Assassins.
If I may just take a second to complain
Yeah.
about this matchup.
Let's talk
No,
about the scores real quick, and then you
can't
complain.
complain
no,
about
please,
it now.
a premature complaintation.
Go for it. Go for it.
No, it's fine to read the scores.
All right, Texas
God
Turf
is dead.
Hoppers.
It's fine. Nothing matters.
Texas Turf Hoppers put up 108.56. Acorn Assassins put up 98.38.
There's just so much I want to complain about. I don't even know where to start.
You hit the median, didn't you?
No.
Wait, where's the live?
It was
projected median?
99.55. I missed the median by like a point.
Oh, that's
1.17 points.
Wait, who was
Curtis
above
Samuel
you
could have
at
just had 3
100?
catches.
Who?
Was it Number Punchers that got it?
I think so.
At 100?
Oh, at 100.72.
Okay, let's see. Pond Feet beat me. Lumberjacks did.
Well, you
Token.
just okay. The median was at 90.
Long necks. Go ahead.
The median was at 99.5. So it's just whoever was just above you, right? Because it's the projected median, so it's between 8 and 9.
Yeah. So I think it was Number Punchers.
Number Punchers beat you out. Just
But going back,
barely.
long necks. Let's see. Slimmer. Yeah.
Yeah, this was. I think the toughest part about this week is that you still had a chance, and Latavius Murray decided to have the best game of his.
Yeah. It's
year.
just kind of like, what the heck?
Yeah, that's tough. And Curtis Samuel had 2 catches for 6 yards.
That one hurt. I was between Trey Palmer and Curtis Samuel in that last spot.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it didn't matter. But
Yeah.
I'll be honest, guys. I think Real talk, gentlemen. All right, give it to me straight.
Let's turn off the cameras.
No, just take that off. It's fine. All right, it's a nice cardigan.
Yeah.
Do you think I should sell, like hardcore right now?
Yep.
I think it's probably time to sell.
I think you're done. Hang up the cleats for the season, Peterson.
A part of me is gonna feel so liberated.
You're gonna feel so good.
You're gonna feel so good.
But
But you're only gonna feel so good until you sell your last player, and then trust me, it's darkness.
you have had so much fun, don't you? You've loved your life.
You can play the 30-point game.
No.
Yeah. Come on.
I don't know. Join us.
It's so fun.
Come to the kids' table.
I think this is probably. I don't even think I need to like competitively try, and I think it's just time to sell.
Yeah, I think
so too.
I think you're probably And we talked about this though. This week was like the deciding factor. People were going to start
called
tanking.
it well.
Yeah. Well, he had called it well. I thought it was going to be last week.
No, you called it well.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
I
you
did
did
call it well. I do this.
So I think, honestly, who do you think I shouldn't trade then? Probably Howell. Keep him.
Yeah, you got to keep Howell.
Probably keep Howell.
Got to keep Devontae. He's had a nuts year. Psych. I don't know if anybody wants Devontae though. I know we've talked about that a little bit.
I think there are people that still want Devontae.
Man,
but I think I would probably just hang on to him for. Well, actually, no, I can't. Well, there's one more week before Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So I would probably just hang on to him for another.
Days.
I'm probably gonna hang on to Devontae for another week just to see if he raises his value, and then I would sell Stevenson, try and get a haul for Montgomery. I'd sell Wilson, Higgins. I'm probably just gonna hang on.
You'd sell Montgomery.
Yeah.
So you don't think that keeper value is all that great then?
No, I would want to be compensated for the keeper value.
Are you holding on to Dallas Goedert?
I mean,
wasn't he bought for like $8?
he was a good deal, but I would sell Goddard.
If I were you, I would sell Howell.
Mm-hmm. You'd sell Howell?
I would sell Howell because I think.
You think this is kind of the height of his value?
Keep him for $5. Sure. I mean, maybe it is serviceable.
Honestly,
maybe
Bekonzi would probably be a good person. No.
But I think you could get more than what the keeper value is for him. I'd sell Garrett Wilson. I'd sell Devonta Adams, Dallas Goedert, T. Higgins.
It's basically.
You think anybody would buy Dallas Goedert?
Yeah.
I think Connor's got a pretty weak tight end spot.
He's not out for the season. He's just out for 4 weeks.
And then same with Birch. Like, I think he might want some. Oh, no, he's got Kelsey. My bad. I forgot he had just started Hill this week.
It depends on what your price is on Goddard.
Goddard's price is going to be pretty low.
Cheap. You can also sell Herbert. Khalil Herbert.
Yeah. I mean, for a team that like needs some running back depth.
What's the plan with Dameon Pierce?
I'll probably sell him too.
Yeah.
But I would wait a week until he plays.
Yeah.
But he would just be another like depth piece.
I think you try to pair Stevenson with probably one of those guys, get as much draft capital as you can in that one, and then everyone else maybe sell for dollars.
My goal is to probably just, if I could get slightly ahead of my auction dollars I've given out this year, because I think it's probably about 14 or 15.
Let me check.
And then maybe I could. Oh, I'm glad this is nice verbally processing this with you guys. All right, I've been keeping this inside for a long time.
Let it out.
You've given up. Yeah. You've given out 11.
Oh, that's not bad.
Not bad.
No.
And then just try and. Yeah.
You can recoup that. I think it's a good time to sell. I think I don't know if anybody else is selling this week. Oh,
Joe.
Bourbon Barrels.
So
That's your
Barrels
competition.
Yeah.
But then it's basically going to be a race to the bottom between me and Joe.
Yep, for sure. Okay, let's move on.
And then we'll just quickly
real quick. Dak Prescott had an incredible game.
Prescott
4 passing touchdowns, 404 yards, a rushing touchdown, and didn't even finish the game.
What a beast!
Yeah, dude.
Prescott.
I had CeeDee Lamb. Slumlord had Gallup and Cooks. Gallup didn't start, but Cooks had a great game. He had like 27.
Najee put up 17.
Debo Samuels had a touchdown.
That was the other thing that bugged me. Is
3 out of the last 4 weeks for Najee has been 14.3, 14.6, 17.1. Very, very solid.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the second one you said?
He had in 3 of the last 4 weeks. He's put up 14 or more.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I like what the Turf Hoppers did. Gave me a little bit of confidence.
Honestly, the Turf Hoppers could probably use a tight end upgrade too.
Over Ingram?
I like Ingram. Ingram had a bad week. He's been really consistent.
You are very biased.
That's not true.
Ingram.
That's not true. He's been very consistent.
Yeah.
He gets you like 7.5 points every single week. That's a good tight end.
Anyway, all right, guys. Well, I'm glad we
got that out.
Yeah, no, I feel good now. Right?
Yeah, you can just probably
my
leave.
therapist
come back next week.
Now I don't feel good. All right.
All right, moving on to our next matchup. We got the Andover Avalanche at 84.16, Corn Dog at 74.88. And that was with Gardner Minshew putting up 6.66 points.
Wow, Mark of the Beast.
Yeah, for real.
Did Kopka, how many points did Kopka leave on his bench?
He did leave
With Love. And
Jordan
then
Love.
Flowers, but that's...
and Musgrave.
Oh, no. Flowers.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good week for him
Well
on the
done,
bench.
Kopka. All right.
Yeah, not too bad.
Progress, not perfection.
It's definitely been a couple of down weeks for him. I think he needs to buy somebody to, a spark plug back in the locker room.
Yeah.
Get the
Spark
guys
plug.
energized.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Is it time for the Corn Dogs to think about tanking?
I actually think, so if Joe and I tank, which is probably likely, Corn Dog is probably the team to target in trades because he might be buying, but he could also just fall off.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah. So it's probably going to be targeting Corn Dog,
Lumberjacks.
I mean, Jack, but I don't think your team's going to fall apart, Jack.
No, I don't think so.
Eli's not going to fall apart. So it's really just Corn Dog and Barrels.
Yeah.
African Token.
But Token, yeah.
Only two of those teams are going to make it.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, Token, Slumlord, and me.
And Lumberjacks, Corn Dog.
That's scary.
Yeah, I still think that Corn Dogs and
Scary.
Corn Dogs and Lumberjack are a tier below though. Still,
but they're still. I'm saying they're still pushing for it.
Yeah, true.
So
I actually think
those
Corn Dog, despite the disappointing week being 8-12,
could.
I still think their team is like good enough to make a push.
Hold on, we got to look at his last couple weeks though. I think he's had some bad weeks. Week 9.
I'm kind of blinded by the name value on his team.
Yeah,
Like
Week 9 he
seeing
put up 96.
Barkley,
Oh, no, that's
and
not
Hall, Ridley,
They've actually had good
Ferguson,
weeks.
another freaking dude. We should never have disparaged that Ferguson trade.
that was
Ferguson's
a
been a
great
beast.
Well
call.
done, Matt and Noah. All right.
Yeah, for real.
That was a great call.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they play it out. And they have been buying. They're kind of like in a similar situation as the Lumberjacks.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they've bought enough in where it's like, well, we can't really give up now.
Yeah,
Sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah.
unless they could recoup it.
Yeah, they could recoup it. They definitely have players that could bring in value. Like you got Tyler Lockett, you got Saquon Barkley, you got Breece Hall.
Here's another issue you run into though. Only so many people can recoup it.
Mm-hmm.
There's only so many teams buying,
But I think if you wait until the deadline, I guess you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
People have already sold their capital. Guys in the middle ground probably aren't going to be buying with a ton of capital.
Yeah.
And the guys at the top have already used it.
Yeah, true.
You guys are scaring me. I need to shoot out a group text right now. All right. Fire sale.
Fire sale.
There's a fire.
Yeah.
Sale.
I think Andover Avalanche will be fine.
Corn Dog, I still think probably should push. And selfishly, I'm
Probably.
hoping for that.
I think they probably should, honestly.
Yeah.
They still have the potential. Like 2 weeks
For
ago,
sure.
they put up 115 points.
Yeah.
No, I think they still should. It was a bad week. They still have 10 games left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you guys think the record of the 8th team will be? 500?
Yep.
I think it'll be right at 500.
So you pretty much have to get to 15-15.
Yeah, I think so.
No, sorry. 16-16.
15 and 15.
16. Oh, no, 15
15
weeks. Yep, my
16
bad.
and
Yep.
15.
All right, moving on to our next matchup. This was a pretty high scoring. Was this our highest? No, our second highest. Roy to Robberries at 127.24 against Slumlord Co. at 112.44.
Chris Olave finally.
Guys,
Finally did
Olave and Javante.
Yeah.
Javante put up 19 points.
Wow.
tonight.
Yeah,
Good
Javante
for
had a good
Javante. Yeah.
I think he's had 3 good weeks in a row. He's turning it on at the end of the year, just like some brilliant analysts.
He said
Wow.
two.
You
two
should have sold
really-
him for more.
He's had 2 solid weeks in a row. 3 weeks ago, he hit his projection.
He also, Freebie hit 127 with 6.6 points from Pickett.
And 4.9 from Shaheed.
Wild.
with Mostert and Mahomes on his bench.
Yeah.
Mahomes this season has been pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
He's not been as disappointing as 6.6.
that is true.
correct there. All right,
That is a good
you got me on that one.
analysis.
All right.
The guy that really showed up for him this week, I know Amon-Ra St. Brown had 26, but
He is
TJ
such a stud.
TJ
Yeah.
Hawkinson
Hawkinson
had a
did that in
great
basically the
game.
first half.
Yeah, he had a great game. Yeah, 11 receptions, 134 yards, and a touchdown.
I think we've seen that Dobbs loves to target the tight end.
Yeah, he does.
Because he did it in Arizona. He's doing it here. Hawkinson has massive value for the rest of the year for him.
Yeah, that definitely improved his value bringing in Dobbs.
Does this push Freebie up to the 4th spot? 13-7? No, Austin, because Austin will be 14-6.
yeah,
He'll
okay.
still
he's
be
still just outside of it.
Um,
But yeah, good week.
and then Eli,
great week.
CJ Stroud continues to be rookie sensation.
Yep, he's a beast. Mike Evans had a great game, and he dropped a wide open touchdown pass.
Should have
had two touchdowns. Yeah, because I had Baker, so I was like, "What? Catch a football!" I was all fired up. But yeah, Mike Evans still had a great game, 143 yards, receiving touchdown and six receptions. Outside of that, Jonathan Taylor had a touchdown.
Brandon Cooks. Game of the season.
Oh my god, I didn't even see that one. I saw Brandon Cooks and I didn't even it didn't register. I was like, oh, it's got to be like 5 points.
Who's this B Cooks?
Yeah. No, Brandon Cooks had a great game. Probably the best game of his season, and that's including moving forward.
I will say, Eli texted me last week and he was like, "Are you selling?" So he might be open for business.
He definitely is.
Interesting.
I know.
Oh, okay. This could be very interesting.
Ashante.
I'm very excited to see the trades we get to talk about.
It's so nice
It's
to
my
feel
favorite
things
part.
again.
I don't really care about the matchup recaps. I want to talk trades.
Strategy.
What could happen?
All right, let's move on to the next matchup. We don't have to take too much time on this one. Lake City Longnecks put up 104.82. North City Barnacles put up 20.6.
A record.
10 points below his goal.
Is an 84-point win the record in our league's history?
I don't know. I haven't been keeping track of that. You need to be our accountant.
An 84-point win?
I
You
didn't go to
count
accounting
Are you
school.
saying lowest win?
No, like the biggest
point-
margin of victory.
Oh, I
Point
gotcha.
differential.
Yeah, probably close to that. I don't think anybody's broken
I could
30
I could
yet.
see like a 50 to 130 or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think that might have happened,
Mhm.
actually, something like that.
50 to 130.
There was some massive gap earlier when
Oh yeah, somebody put up like
when
47.
Unicorn Fart went off or
Yeah.
something
Maybe
like
against
that.
like Bekanzi early on in the
Yeah,
season.
I think McConaughey
Yeah.
had like
I
47 after the Nick Chubb injury and stuff.
But yeah, Heinrichs didn't hit that 30-point threshold.
Rashad
He has
White,
to do a bear crawl, right?
dude,
loser.
Rashad White has really
gonna
turned it
hate
up
that.
in the last
He's
4
been good.
weeks. 12.9, 14.4, 25.9, 16.8.
Yep.
He is a stud.
And
He's-
even with Purdy going off for 29,
Long
made the
necks-
right call with Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Longnecks needs some serious help though.
Yeah.
Cole's
Like-
another team. He hasn't bought anyone, and he could make some moves.
Did
Yeah,
Jamal
he needs
Agnew
to.
Thing is,
go
when I look
out?
at Cole's team, I'm like, how is this team?
No clue.
It's gonna be 16-4 after this week.
I know.
Like,
Yeah.
I look at his team and I'm like, is my team that much worse than his?
No, it just is his year for this.
Yeah. Jalen Warren is a stud though. Jalen Warren has been a beast. I was
He's been
thinking
a
about
good pick.
I was thinking about trading for him early on.
I tried to get him.
I tried.
Yeah.
He did not want
No.
to.
Yeah.
Cole really likes his guys,
He does.
even more than all of us. Actually,
Yeah.
I don't like my guys. I hate my guys.
I like some of my
Yeah.
guys. But Christian Watson had a bad game.
Christian
3.3.
Watson had a good game this year.
Has he not?
No, he's caught a touchdown and saved a couple games, but he hasn't had like a good game. I don't think.
Yeah, no. His
I
highest.
think the comp of like Chase Claypool might be playing out.
I also don't think Jordan Love's that good.
I agree.
No.
I think if you put Christian Watson with a good quarterback, I think he's a
Like
good,
Josh Dobbs?
a good wide receiver. Yeah, like Dobbs.
Right.
Couple of guys that he will have back next week: Puka Nacua and Isaiah Pacheco.
And I think with the
helps
trajectory
his
of the
team a lot.
Viking season, Jefferson's looking like
Yeah, he'll
more
come back.
likely that he will come
that's
back.
right. I forget he has Jefferson on his bench.
Which is actually pretty impressive that he's not quite in the same situation as like Austin is. Yeah, the Vikes. He's not quite in the same situation as like Austin is, but he is dealing with injuries right now and bye weeks.
He's
and,
kind
you
of
know,
He's
and he's still putting up 105 points. So
he's still ahead of
maybe
Austin.
yeah.
yeah,
Cole's just again ham and egging it.
ham and egging it. But yeah, we'll move on to the next matchup. There's not a whole lot else to talk about that. African Token versus the Unicorn Fart. This is a bit of a surprising game.
Bekanzi,
Bekanzi put up 109.6. Unicorn Fart put up 65.5.
thing is, look at Bekanzi's scores. Okay, other than Carr,
Yeah.
15, 12, 11, 22, almost 10, 19, 13. Like I never would have thought he's the team that puts up that consistent.
Look at how many touchdowns. Oh, I guess not a ton. I started from the bottom and I was going to go to the top, but then I realized all the ones are at the bottom.
He has 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and they're at the bottom. Well,
Oh,
three.
three. He has 3 touchdowns total on
Yeah.
his team.
But like, yeah,
But like
solid
Mitchell
week.
getting a touchdown, Kittle had a good game, got a touchdown, 116 yards. Dude, Kittle is the funniest dude ever. He can get 3 catches. I made this joke before that game. I was like, Kittle can literally get 3 catches for 80 yards and 3 touchdowns. This game he comes out and puts 116 yards on 3 catches and a tutty. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But
It obviously hurt Unicorn Fart not having AJ Brown.
for sure,
Massive loss.
But like even that would
with
not
him,
have
45-point swing. I don't think so. Trevor Lawrence killed him.
I will say the trade with Heinrichs for Lawrence, not looking great.
No.
Looking like an overpay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said underpay on the group
I was
text.
joking about that
Oh,
one.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Heinrich texted me, he's like, "Do you really think that was an overpay or an underpay?" And I was like, "Nah."
I didn't think so.
Really?
I actually thought it was an overpay when I saw it, but I was like, I'll let that slide. That's more. It's more fun.
I wonder what Heinrich actually said.
Yeah, that was a tough game for Unicorn Fart, but I'm not worried about them. They still have a ton of talent. Like they're gonna bounce back. That was just a bad week.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Moving on to our next matchup and our last match of the week, we got the Big Lake Lumberjacks putting up a whopping 131.88.
Nice job, Ross. All right.
What a week against Ponfeet, who put up an impressive 116.
But he should tank, guys.
That is such a tough loss for Ponfeet.
That is a tough loss. At least he still gets a median win.
So he'll be 7-13.
Yeah, he'll be 7-13. Ross will be 8-12. A couple of the guys that went off, Keenan Allen had a great game, 175 receiving yards, 2 receiving touchdowns, and 11 receptions.
When I'm seeing the questionable tag,
day-to-day with shoulder injury. I think he'll be fine.
The problem for Ponfeet this week was genuinely not having Nico Collins. Having to start Robert Woods, that was a bummer for him.
Could have been a 15-point swing, yeah.
That had to hurt.
But Jahmyr Gibbs had a great game, 2 rushing touchdowns. Geno Smith, honestly, that's one point you gotta make. First of all, I don't think Geno Smith is a 20-point player.
He hasn't been this season.
No.
He put up 28.
I know. I'm saying his projection was 20.09.
Oh,
So I don't
I
even
thought
think
he would
he's-
surpass it this week.
Because they were playing Washington?
Washington's been so bad, and they sold their 2 defensive.
Montez Sweat and Chase Young.
true.
And
Sweat.
basically, the stats on Geno Smith is that he has been terrible when under pressure, but he's averaging like over 8 yards per attempt with a really good percentage when he has time in the pocket.
Interesting.
So he was set up to absolutely succeed this week.
That makes sense. I think moving forward, Geno Smith doesn't do that again, though, like for the rest of the season almost. Because
I don't think so either.
I'm not a believer in Geno this
Not
year.
a Geno believer?
I'm not. I even had him in another league.
I have him in another league, and it's been
I dropped
rough.
him like after week
You dropped
5.
him?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like a 10-man league.
Oh, okay.
So you don't. I dropped him for like Brock Purdy.
Oh, I would have done that.
Yeah. So
So Ponfeet are at 7-13. That puts them 3 games behind? Is that 3 games off the 8th place?
is that what it is?
500, right?
He's basically got 5 weeks.
Yeah. Me and
to
Slumlord
probably
will be tied for 8th at 10-10, I think.
Okay, yeah. So he's 3 games behind you guys.
Yeah.
2 weeks. That's pretty perfect for him actually to be able to ride it out these next 2 weeks before the trade deadline.
Yeah, to see where he's at.
Or at least, wait, is the 25th before that final week, that 2 weeks ends?
That would be the
Saturday, right?
No, that'd be wasn't Thanksgiving's on the 23rd,
Third,
right?
yeah, so Saturday. So it's before, he won't know.
That sucks.
That
I feel like
is
we should probably
brutal.
change
Well, the
that where
nice-
the trade deadline is like the end of that week.
I don't know if I can.
The nice
you guys
thing-
keep talking.
To keep in mind, though, next week I play Ponfeet. So that's not just a 2-game swing. It's more than that. Unless, like, if he loses, then it's
Basically seasonal.
not
pretty
necessarily
much.
more than that because you could still beat the median.
true. But if he beats me, it still takes 1 win away from me. So it's
Yes.
at least 2. At least 2.
If he wins that, yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be an interest. This next week will really determine whether or not, or what he's trying to do.
Well, I think we can all agree he's not doing anything. So
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's true. All right, moving on.
That's so true. Moving on to close the show. I'm checking right now if I can. Okay, so there's set dates. So you can either do the next one we could do is December 2nd.
that's a late trade deadline.
Yeah, so I think we got to keep it at the 25th. It's just what it was.
Or we could go to the wonderful platform that is Sleeper.
Okay, there's things about Sleeper I absolutely love, but I hate the interface.
If you could,
hate the interface
it
so
literally
much.
gives me what is it? Not strokes.
Anxiety.
Well, that too.
Epilepsy?
Yes. I like
Yeah.
open up. I'm like, what is going on here?
I do not like Sleeper at all.
But I love the flexibility it offers. It's
Yeah.
so great, the things
If you
you
could
can
just
do
make it
with
like black and white, I
Yeah.
would love that.
black and white.
Or just like a super simple interface.
It kind of, I mean, clean, like
Yes.
what Yahoo and what ESPN
I would take
has.
like Comic Sans MS like black and white
I
over
would not
I
take
would not
over
that.
the
take Comic
current
Sans. That would
Sleeper
drive me
iteration.
bonkers.
No, there's some parts about it that's fun, but it's a bit much.
Yeah. Well, that was our matchup review. That brings us to the end of the show. We are Relegation Fantasy Football on Apple Podcast and Spotify.
No, we just all, you went like this, then Andy went like, for those not watching, we all got really Greek.
For whoever's not watching, we just did this.
I'm going to baptize you.
You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube at The Relegation League. We're also on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Relegation FFL. Fantasy League Home is linked in the show description. We're on Yahoo Sports for deeper tracking, trades, everything week to week. You can check us out there. Send us some questions on Twitter and TikTok. And as always, make sure to follow and subscribe for more content. We'll see you later.
Relegators.
Nice job.